One of the projects I'm going to make today is one of these cute little desk calendar. You can just set it on your desk, and it's a little calendar, and you tear off each sheet, you know, for each month. This is one I had made last year, and I get these at Tailored Expressions, and I get a package of 10 for $4. And you can, if you only wanted to make one, you could do that by going down to your where they have those little calendars where they have the sticky part up here, and you can put them in your car, like our insurance agency has them. But I make a bunch of them every year, so then I just buy them through Tailored Expressions, and this is one I had last year. And so I'm going to show you how easy this is to make. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you can use colored cardstock. I'm choosing to do white today because white is very easy to find. And cardstock, you can get some of it at Walmart, you know, a small package. It's probably a good thing to keep on hand if you're going to be crafting. So you're going to take that cardstock, and it comes in an 8.5 by 11, cut it in half, and now you have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to measure 1 inch, and you're going to measure 4.5 inches, and then I just measured from this end 1 inch, which would be 7.5. So, and those are the places you're going to score. And I'm going to do that with you. Sometimes you can get machines, or not machines, but you can get cutting devices that have both the scoring and the cutting in them, and Stampin' Up does have that, and I happen to be a demonstrator, so I can link that. Anyway, so the top one is the cutting, and the, let's see here, no, the top one's the scoring one. So I'm going over to the 1 inch, and I'm just going to go 1, and then I'm going to measure 4.5, and then I'm just going to do the 1 again. Okay, pretty easy to do. Now all I'm going to do is just fold this. If you fold it under like this, you can see that this is going to be where it's going to be, you can stand it up. And so all I do at this point is I just tape it. And the reason I do as little cardstock as possible is to keep it light for when you're mailing it, because this is perfect to put in an envelope. The little envelopes that you get when you send out a card, it fits them perfectly. So I'm just going to line this up. And there you can see it's just going to stand. It was really easy to do. And then if you want to take and bend that in, then it'll be flat. And that's how we'll finish this. Now I want to talk about the paper a little bit. You want to use a paper that's for year-round. I know it's tempting to go Christmas because you're giving it at Christmas or New Year's, but use it so they can use it year-round. So maybe pick a paper that's something they enjoy. And I'm going to use from my Graphic 45. This is 8.5 or 8 by 8, or is it 6 by 6? I'm not for sure yet here. Looks like it's 8 by 8 paper, and I'm actually going to offer these on my Etsy shop. And I've got just a certain amount, so when they're gone, at least for now. And I am choosing to use the chickens because I love them. This is going to be in my house. And I just want to show you the back side. These papers are really pretty. So you could use, you know, whatever you like. I have made a lot of crafts on this channel with this paper. And so you can see how pretty it is. The cows are awesome too. It's got pretty artwork in there. Okay, so chickens today, and then, so all I did for the front of this card is I'm doing, it's the the measurements are 5 1/4 by 3 inch. And because this is a 6 by 6 or 8 by 8, well, what is this? Let me measure. It's an 8. Yep, it's an 8 by 8. I can certainly get a couple out of that. So I am going to measure the 5 1/4 first. Just cut it down, and here you've got a nice little piece for something else. And then you just take and line it up with a 3 inch, and you're going to get 1 and 2 out of this. And again, you're going to have a little scrap, but more fun for something else. And then if you did the other piece of your cardstock, you've got 2 pieces ready to go. And so we'll just put this on, and I'm going to use some of my sticky tape that I offer in my Etsy shop because it sticks so well and it's not going to come off. And this is how it's done. So measure it on there. I'm going to do all 4, and it just peels off. And this is really sticky, and it's really good stuff. So I will stop this and I'll finish that part and we'll get back to it. Okay, sticky stuff is on all of this. You could totally use, if you want just to use double-sided tape, that's pretty readily available. And I'm going to make sure I've got my image upright, and I'm just going to eyeball to give it a frame and press it down. Really cute. And then I've got my calendar, and if you choose, you can take off the front. I usually just leave it on just to keep it protected for, travels or whatever. And do the same thing with the sticky. Okay, and that's how it comes off, and then you've got these little plastic pieces, and now it's really nice and sticky. And I just put it in right in the middle. If you wanted to add to this, you could move it over here and put a little, something that you draw on or write on, a little sentiment or a little something to tell people you're thinking of them year round. It's definitely where you could put ribbon through there. But this is just the simple one. And we're ready for 2021, and let's hope it's a better year than 2020, even though I can come up with a lot of blessings for 2020. All right, on to the next DIY. Okay, I have some wooden ornaments that I also sell in my Etsy. The problem with this kind of thing is the shipping can get kind of expensive, so that's why, it's not like it's really expensive, but on my shop, I try and keep it as close to the shipping price as possible. So if you would rather do, like a Dollar Tree, this would be a good option because there's 5 of these in a package if you can find them. So this would be the equivalent to my tree. And then this is the equivalent to their ornament that I found. It's got the stars in it, and mine is solid. And then they have these very nicely done snowflakes. So, and this is mine. All right, so I do want to just go through my ornaments today, and I'll probably make more of these in the future, but let's just go through it today. I am so surprised at how well these little bits and pieces from Simple Stories have been selling. I did a winter farmhouse, and I'm waiting for more to come, but they're very hot seller this year, and they're only a $5 item. I've been selling them for $6 because it only cost me $1 to send it in the mail. But this one is called Jingle All the Way, and I do have a few on my site. I believe I'm down to maybe 5 or 6. But so let me show you what I've done with a few of these pieces, and I will be using these in more videos. So just to show you, there's such cute little they're just ready to go. They also have little sentiments in here. This one is Be Merry and Be Bright. You could add a holly and a jolly, or just simply put in here, Believe in the Magic. They've got a little truck in here that fits on there nicely. I thought this was cute with the TV. It's a Wonderful Life. And then here we've got little gingerbread. Where's the other little guy? There's a little girl and a little boy. If I can find him, here he is. Okay, and I know there's a heart in here. So if you had someone that just got married, or, you know, whatever, or, you know, two little cutesies that you think would love this, you could even put a little mistletoe. And there is a heart in here somewhere. I'm just not finding it. Oh, here it is. So, all right, so there's some ideas on, you know, just putting it directly on the wood. I was thinking today I would just use some fabric to do the very first covering of it. And so all you'll do is you'll find the fabric that you want to use. This happens to be Joann's, and I'm going to, looks like it's got like a faux wood look to it, so I'm gonna line it up like that, and I'll turn this off because that's kind of boring for you to see. I'll show you what I end up with. Okay, I am choosing to use that sticky, you know, double-sided tape just because there's no mess, and it was convenient for me. But you could certainly use, you know, a glue stick or some Aleene's glue. Sometimes the glues tend to go through fabric, so I guess I kind of choose this way, at least for this. And I'm just gonna pat that down, and it is stuck on there. And then I'll just trim along. Okay, I've just trimmed around it, and then I think I'm just gonna leave where the little top is. So pull this back. Trim that a little better here. Okay, so now we've got that. And then it's just a matter of putting on what you want. And to make it real, you know, personal, you could put on stickers that say 2020. You know, I could put on a wreath from my little packet. Put on Santa Claus. Well, he's kind of big for that though. I kind of like the little snowman. Where did he go? Oh, here he is. So it goes together, and then you could put some words on there. Oh, this is a cute one, Snuggle Season. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to spread it all out so you know what you have when you're doing this. And then I'll probably just put on Be Merry and Be Bright. If you wanted to lift this off a little bit, you could use dimensionals, or you could use the craft, let's see, they call it foam board. And you would just adhere that to the bottom, and that would give it a little lift where it's three-dimensional, which is even, it makes it a little extra special. And then I did want to point out too, if we flip this over and pretend we're starting new, let's say you had a picture that you'd like to use of your grandchildren or your children or your animals, or, you know, your farm or whatever. You can just cover it and trace around it and cut it out. This happens just be in a magazine, a cute little baby, and it just fit perfectly. So you can see how you could add pictures into this. Or I even thought of those when people send you they're like photo greeting cards with their families. If they fit right, you could put those on there instead of, you know, putting them in a box. Every year you would have, you know, your loved ones right there, and you can hang it on the Christmas tree. All right, next DIY coming right up. The next DIY, we're just gonna do our tree. I think I'll just take this off for now. And we're gonna paint it a traditional green. I'm going with the Waverly Fern color. And then any brown, I guess you know, it's just gonna be kind of an accent. This is Bark Brown by Folk Art. And the first step is just simply paint it green. Okay, my tree is dry. And I did put these out just to remind that this is what the Dollar Tree one has, if you can, you know, pick that one up. This is the one I sell on Etsy. Now this is a technique, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this tree like a, what do I wanna say? A low light, like a, you know, it's under the branches. So I've got my brown paint, and I have a little bit too much on here, but I'm just adding in this flat brush, I'm just putting paint on the one side. Then I'm gonna put water on the other side. I'm loading it with paint on one side and water on the other. And it's called a floating technique. And so you'll practice a little bit, and you're just gonna blend this. And see, there's too much water in this. But once you get it right, you can see where it's dark and it'll lighten it up. So let me work on this a little bit. Okay. I'm just gonna wiggle it together. And then once you're ready to paint, it'll just work. Okay, so we're gonna do one here, and we've got the painted end where it's gonna be dark, and then it's go lighter. I think I might have a little bit too much water, but it's gonna work here. And then that'll give it that dimension as to where the bow, where it ends. It just kind of adds to it. Boy, this is a little tricky here. There, okay. And you kind of see where it fades in and out. Kind of fade it out there. And let's do it again. See, too much water. Try a little bit less here. And that's why you just play with it. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Okay, and again, let's do that. Okay. There. And just allow that to dry. And then it won't take long either. Use a little bit of that brown paint just to paint this, the stump, tree trunk. Allow this to dry. We've got one more little thing to add. I did pick up, pull out the white because I wanted to add a little snow effect to this. So we'll let this dry a minute. Okay, on to the snow. Now use a brush, you know, that's kind of scruffy. And I just am grabbing a little bit out of the cap and just going to put some back on the paper towel, and I'm going to pounce on where you think snow would land. Just kind of think of what would happen in real life. Might be a little heavy on the branches on the outside here. And if you need a little more, just add a little more. And I think I'll just do a little bit on the inside, just to see what that looks like. So it blends together. I chose to use this Holly and Jolly that came in the Jingle All the Way that I'm offering on Etsy. Remember, there isn't a lot left, and I will try and get more. But I also considered using these stickers, and these are silver. So you could put, you know, the year on the bottom there. But this seems just a little bit bright. And so I'm going to use that dry brush technique and just going to, I didn't even clean off the paint from the white. I'm just going to pull out a little brown, and we'll see if this happens where it's not too dark, but just enough to, you know, mute it a little bit. That pretty white. We don't kind of mute the white with a little brown on the edge. Okay. All right. I think that worked pretty good. If you had a ink pad, this could also work. You could just take ink and go around the edge. You could go directly from the ink pad. You could use a sponge. All of that works just fine. Just to mute that color. And then you'll use something to adhere this down, and I am actually thinking I want to pop this up a little bit. So I'm going to get some of my dimensionals that I sell through Stampin' Up. You could also use, again, the if you wanted to cut a piece of cardboard or something to make it stand up. And I had suggested earlier using the, what's that called again? It's the foam board. If you had a piece of that foam board for $1 from Dollar Tree, it'd go a long way. So maybe I'll show you both. I'll go get what I need here. Okay, this is the foam board I was talking about. I had, like, it's a big piece. I would say, you know, 3 by 4 maybe. I'm not even sure. Poster board size. Anyway, it's basically, you've got 2 pieces of paper and you've got this foam on the inside of it, and that's when it's going to give your Holly Jolly a little lift. And when you put that on there, it's just going to come off, you know, a little bit. And you know, you could put that on with the glue stick. I will show you what Stampin' Up offers as well. They have these are called dimensionals. It's the same concept. You've got, you know, sticky rather than just paper. It's sticky, and you have to peel off the top paper because it's sticky underneath, and then your foam in the inside. And it's okay. So we got it sticky here, and I think I'll just put 3 of them on here. And then, okay, they're not sticky now because they have the little top layer, and you just peel them off. And now it is sticky, and you just lay it down. So it's quicker, easier, but you could certainly do it with other things. Okay, and then I just wanted to mention they come in a smaller size too. So if you were to compare it to, boy, I don't even know what I've got, my pinky. This is how big it is. They're just like too small, you know, they're just little compared to the bigger ones. Okay, now I picked up these cute little mini bows at Dollar Tree. Didn't know what I'd do with them, but for $1 and you get 12 of them, I thought I'm gonna just pick them up because I'll probably find something. And on the back, it looks like they're with a little, like a bread tie kind of a thing. And that's what they've used to put this little bead on there and tie it around. But this will look really cute on my tree. And so I think what I'll do is I'm going to trim this off without trimming it too deeply, and I'm just going to hot glue it on. And I want to leave a little gap so I can put my string back in there. You can kind of see that. Okay, I'm going to do that. Be right back. All right, this is what I've got done. I put this little string back on there and I put on the little ribbon and it looks really cute. On the back, if you're going to give this as a gift, give it a little signature on the bottom and write the year on there. People will appreciate that. And I just happened upon finding these at Hobby Lobby. They're right now is probably still going on 50% off. And so this was $1.50 and I got, looks like 10 pieces of these little cuties. And so I just thought, gosh, if I didn't use that, I could have used this. And if you use the Dollar Tree one, it would fit on there too. Really cute. I have one more thing I want to show you, and I want to show you how to make cards out of paper bags. And so let me get that ready for you. This is a cute gift bag that I got at Dollar General. It was $2.50, but I have a lot of ideas that I wanted to do with this. This is the side that's just plain, and this is where we're going to make a couple cards. This is the side that's shiny. It's got the glitter, and I think that's probably why it was $2.50. And I have another DIY I want to save this for, so stay tuned to see what we end up doing with this. But I'll show you what we can do with the plain side without the glitter. Just to speed things up, I'm just showing you I'd cut this away and just going to remove, you know, the handle. And you can save this for another project. And I just wanted to point out this it's got really cute little sides, so I might use that too. I chose to use this snowman here for the card, and when you're doing things like this, just use the colors they have. Pull out the colors you like to enhance the colors and go with that. They've already came with, you know, the blending, the harmony of the colors. So go with your papers and things. And I am just choosing to use, it's called Cherry Cobbler, and it's a Stampin' Up paper. And this is going to be my card base. So I will cut this in half and I'll show you what's next. I just want to show you how to cut this where you're going to have some straight edges. This is the top of the bag, so that's got a straight edge. So use that as a guide to go on top of your cutter. And I'm just going to do the best I can and make it a straight edge. Once you have a straight edge to start with, then, you know, you can use it for, you know, doing the other cutting. Okay. Let's go back to our card stock. So I cut it in half, and now I can actually make 2 Christmas cards from this, or you can call them winter cards, or if you have a birthday in the winter, you can make them into birthday cards. Just fold them. And now I want to look at the image, and so what I usually do is I just look at the inside of this. If I wanted to have somewhat of a border, I would do like it'd be 4 inches, but I want a little bit more of a border, so I'm actually going to go like 3 3/4, and then I will do the other side, and it's going to end up to be 5 inches. Okay, so 3 3/4. And we're doing 5 inches. So this one is at the edge where I want it. I don't want to do any more cutting with that. So I think what I'll do, and I want it this way. So we're doing 3 3/4. Or what are we, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Let's see, double check this here. Yep, it's 3 3/4. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to trim that down. Okay. Now we've got this image, and I want to use most of this image, so I'm just looking at this. How do I want to do this? So if I use it about like that, I'm going to trim off right here. And now you've got your straight edge, so it's a lot easier to keep going on this. Okay, and now I've got that side. And we said 5. So we're going to do it right here. Then it's just a matter of laying it on there. And you could use your glue stick, double-sided tape, whatever. And you can see where you could make a lot of cards just out of this gift bag. And if you're like me, when Christmas is over, if someone has thrown away a gift bag, I pick it out of the garbage if it hasn't been wrecked, and I use it because those things are expensive. I'd rather spend the money on a gift than buy another bag. And if it gets kind of junky, there may be parts or pieces you can use out of the good, the good parts, and make cards and things like this. So we're going to finish these cards here. Okay, I want to use this image to make a second card, but these two guys are a little close together, so I'm going to just show you a little trick. So instead of those same dimensions, I'm just going to actually cut them apart. And that's where we're going to use that paper that's on the side of the bag, and we're going to add to it. And I'll show you how I do that. I think what I'll do is I'm going to trim it here. And then I want to make the use of this, get most of this tree if I can. So we're going to go up a little bit more. Not the tree, sorry, the wreath. Okay. So what I ended up doing is 5 1/4, and then this ended up just to be, what is that? It's almost 3 inches. Now I'll take I'm gonna just pull out this cute end, and I'm not gonna waste your time by doing that. I will just get this ready and I'll show you what I did. Okay, here we've got, I want to just put some final things on there. This is from our little itsy bitsy bits and pieces jingle all the way. Hello Christmas. I'm just going to pop that on the top. And another one from that package, Be Merry and Be Bright. Just going to pop that in there. Again, this could be birthday if you've got somebody that has a birthday this time of the year. Otherwise, this is a couple completed cards, and you can do a lot more with those papers. Like, for instance, I could see this as, you could trim this out and use it as a topper, tag topper. And again, you could use these little images on the little wood pieces. That one fits pretty good. A lot of ideas, just a lot of ideas for you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you for coming, and I've got a lot more ideas coming your way. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.